Hi there, welcome to another beautiful day here on Vanguard Live, broadcasting to you from Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. And of course, it is our continuation of the 2023 election coverage. And of course, it's still Nigeria the side. Well, today we are going to be taking the Observer's Report. And of course, we are going to be talking with the chair of the Transition Monitoring Group in the person of Mr. Awa Musa. Mr. Awa Musa is joining us live via Zoom. And of course, he's going to be discussing, what the assessment of some of this, observers group have been about the election so far. Well, he would be giving us, a lot of update on this election. Mr. Awa, are you with us here? Well, I'm afraid we lost Mr. Awa out there, but meanwhile, we are going to be waiting for him, and then, of course, we hope he joins us soon. Well, of course, it's still Vanguard Live, and do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. And of course, visit our website www.vanguardngr.com, where you get live updates regarding the election, and of course, other interesting stories that are breaking on our website. It seems as though I have Mr. Awa Musa back on the show. Mr. Awa, can you hear me, sir? Right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Right, I'm glad you are back. Well, of course, let's quickly look at the 2023 presidential and of course the NASS elections so far. You have men on the ground, all over Nigeria, and I'm very sure that you must have done a pretty hard work in the past 72 hours. Right, a lot of questions have been raised, regarding the credibility of this election. What is your general assessment so far, on the election?
Thank you very much. Transition Monitoring Group had deployed observers across the country, and we have gotten reports from our observers where they are early in the morning to observe the process. And the report so far that we have gotten was that many places have come out and they organize themselves in a orderly manner to participate. We have also seen, according to our report, some level of improvement from the security agents. The past, the ID politicians or ruling party in their respective states. This time around, we haven't seen that much incident happening, which means that there was a kind of improvement in the security neutrality, what TMG had actually called earlier on. We have also seen that despite the challenges of the beavers, it has actually eliminated, grand rigging and tampering in many places. Because in the past, if you look at 2015, 2019, and even 2007, 2011, 2011 elections, you will see that the monumental rigging that had happened, it hasn't happened, in the scale of what happened on this election.
Right.
Courtesy of the givers.
Right.
So we could say that despite the challenges that the election came, which is largely as a result of the failure of INEC to comply with the law,
right,
which is to say that immediately after the election you upload the results. We have seen that that has created tension and that has created a lot of people to question the integrity of the whole process. But overall, when you look at the landmark that we have made and how some powerful governors, were not able to even get the election courtesy of viewers, I think we could make progress if we have the political commitment to address those lapses we have noted with INEC.
Well, Mr. Awa, you seem to be scoring the process pretty, quite higher than, what we've heard in the past 48 hours. Just yesterday, the former president of Nigeria, Mr. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, came out and faulted INEC's process. And of course, a couple of other parties too seem to be aligning with the former president. But you are saying that the Beavers have eliminated, a monumental, what could have been a monumental rigging, compared to 2019 general election. Now, I want to know, would you rate this election as, fair enough, in your opinion?
No, no, I think we should be fair to issues when there are improvements in some level and some aspects we should mention. I spoke about the security, which I noted that even the international observers have also noted that the level of improvement, is better than what you used to have before, where directly the security personnel were involved in rigging election. This time around, we have not recorded that much of it. So it's not about scoring or clearing the process. I had earlier on mentioned that the Beavers have held, as expected, and I think
Mr. Awa, I'm sorry, I may have to cut you in. I'm sorry, I may have to cut you in. You made mention of international observers, also commending the process. I would like to know what international body are you referring to? Because just yesterday, the EU observer said that, the election is marred by poor planning and preparation, and that's why we had some skirmishes during the process.
I think you need to also be listening. What I am saying, I'm not scoring the election as a perfect election. I'm saying that some of the areas where we usually have, challenges, we've noted some little improvement. That's what I said. I'm not scoring the election to be a correct election.
Right.
After all, we have deployed monitors and we have seen what has happened.
Right.
There is no way I will sit down and lie, to say that we have not seen little changes in the security of the election. We have seen that, in many places, security personnel did not do the usual thing that they used to do, which is to escort politicians and go and vandalize and rig the election.
Right.
We haven't seen that. And I cannot simply say, because I want to please somebody to say that that has happened. If it didn't happen, we will not say it happened. But however, we call for more transparency from INEC, because INEC violated the law by refusing to comply with the electoral law, which says that upload this in on timely basis, and they haven't done that, and they created, that anxiety and tension and confusion. So we are calling on INEC to also follow the law and do the needful. And also, in terms of logistics, we have also observed that the logistics was also very poor, just like said. And I can assure you that the international observers, they also rely on the local observers report, apart from the fact that they also go, because we work also, in tandem with them. So all that I'm saying is that where we noted gaps, we should, say it. But where we noted little improvement, we should also point it out so that we can consolidate on those areas where we made gains in our electoral process. But it's not to say that the election is perfect or the election is without challenges. In fact, there are a lot of challenges that we have noted, even in terms of the violence and the voter repression and attack and intimidation. We have also observed it and we have put it in our own report. We will share our detailed report to the Nigerian people to see areas where we have observed, some impression where we also noted some improvement. It is not completely 100%, popular situation.
Right. You noted, issues of, let's say, pockets of insecurity, recorded in some parts of the country. What exactly would you say is the cause? Because some have said that that was owing to the lack of preparedness on the part of INEC, because there's a particular report that we got yesterday that said the issue of insecurity, was fueled as a result of delay in deployment of material to polling units. Did you also observe the same in the course of the election?
So the insecurity, it happens, is real because of the determination and the desperation of some, politicians and their supporters to make sure that they hijack the process. So that, may not necessarily be the only reason why, because INEC deploy late for that to happen. There are some people who made up their mind that they must win. And if they don't win, they will disrupt the process. We have seen those, instances where they refuse to allow people to even come to accredit and even vote simply because they made up their mind that if they don't win, nobody should win. That is not necessarily any problem. It is the intolerance, irresponsible behavior of some political class in Nigeria who use violence to intimidate and harass and suppress voters from participating in the election. So that problem is there. And it is because of the impunity, because when you do this thing and you get away with no punishment, you get away, with it. Now, again, closely related to the insecurity, you have seen also how, some politicians also kill other voters. For example, in Kano, there was reported killings of some, people by some other powerful politicians. So the violence took place, and it may not necessarily be simply because as a result of the late arrival of materials. It is because of the determination and the desperation of some politicians who don't follow the rules, who think that they have the power and they can use the power to do whatever they want.
Right. All right. Well, Mr. Awal Musa, like I said, in the outset of this discussion, that you had boots on ground all over the country. There are some terrain that a lot of us felt that it would be difficult assessing, and your men were on ground in such location. Could you please tell us what were the challenges, faced by TMG, in covering this election?
So there were some challenges. First, a lot of Nigerians think that transition monitoring group TMG can interfere or intervene in the challenges they face. When they come to court. For example, they were unsure, they were waiting for the INEC official to come. They were not there, and they were expecting TMG to say something. That is not part of our work. We are observing. We are not monitoring. We are not INEC official. That's number one. Number two, you also have a lot of Nigerians who they also want to TMG to assist, to even talk to the INEC official in terms of the conduct of the election. We say that it is not our responsibility. We don't interfere, but we observe instances of infraction or on the process generally. We also have a lot of challenges in the sense that people got out of patience because they have waited for very long, in some places up to 9 o'clock in the night, and people got upset and they were looking for TMG, to see what they can do. And we told them, sorry, cannot, help, in this because we are not supposed to interfere in the process, but we observe, we document, we, take note, and then it will be presented towards the INEC and to the Nigerian people so that there will be improvement. Also, when it comes to issue of attacking, plan and in fact even seek for medical
Mr. Awal. Well, I'm afraid we're having some technical. Okay, right, he's back. Please go ahead. You were making a very salient point. Go ahead.
Yeah. So many observers, because they TMG or society help them situation they found themselves. Some of them were attacked. They were looking for help from TMG to take them to hospital. Some of them they were looking for help to talk to INEC officials who have been in many instances, the process was been very slow, and we can unfortunately we couldn't help because it's not part of our responsibility to do that. So I think TMG, members, there was so much expectation on them, which unfortunately were not part of their own allowable areas to, intervene.
Well, I'm afraid, Mr. Awa, I may have to let you go now. But before you go, you made mention of your recommendation and all of that, submitting it to INEC and all of that. Would you like to tell Nigerians what would you be recommending, for future election in Nigeria?
So, basically, definitely we will be recommending to Nigerian government, particularly the INEC and the Nigerian people, first to respect the law of the election. The election law said that days immediately after the election. INEC violated that, they didn't do that, and there was no any proper explanation to that. Secondly, we will also be recommending to INEC to improve in its logistics, and because that also creates a lot of anxiety and tension and problems. Thirdly, we'll also be recommending to the Nigerian government that they must make sure that deployment of the security and continue to be neutral, continue to be upheld. Again, we'll also be in terms of this logistic. Again, we'll be recommending to INEC that look, you cannot be having this ad hoc staff that are completely incompetent to man the process, because some of the staff that they brought, they were actually participating in even training people where to vote, which is a gross violation of the law itself. So INEC must prepare very well by equipping and training those young people who will be deployed to do that. And then again, we will also be recommending to INEC that look, you must not put people who have questionable character as electoral official, like in the case of KB, where one of them who is clearly associated with the politicians run away even with the materials and what have you. So, fundamental recommendation that we will let INEC understand and improve on it, especially on the issue of deployment, logistic. They have to do everything possible. There's no reason whatsoever not to allow the PBs to have these problems, because we spent a lot of money in this country to have this infrastructure, and it is absolutely unacceptable INEC to allow this situation to happen, which created confusion, and in fact a lot of people have lost confidence that the system is going to bring out any credible results. So these are some of the things that we're going to be telling INEC and the Nigerian people in our recommendation, but definitely we are going to be bringing our major recommendation to the electoral body and the Nigerian people.
All right, many thanks, Mr. Awal Musa, the chairman of Transition Monitoring Group, discussing some of their observations so far in the 2023 presidential as well as the NASS election, that have just been concluded a few days ago. All right, many thanks, sir. We really appreciate you. And of course, we hope we are going to be having you possibly tomorrow or next, and then you give us further insight into what you've also discovered so far. Many thanks, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, if you are just joining us, of course, it is still the live coverage of the 2023 Nigeria Decides here on Vanguard Live, broadcasting to you from the beautiful city of Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. Of course, we've discussed a number of key issues here. Do not forget to like and, of course, follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. And more importantly, kindly log on to our website, www.vanguardngl.com, where you have live updates on the 2023 general election coverage. My name is Ido Bankole. Thanks for watching.